minimum promotion. Best thoughts, we wanted to win it, we come close. Wanted to go far in cups. We didn't do too well in the Association Cup, but we got to the quarter-final of the League Cup, and got beat by somebody a lot higher up than us. So overall, I think it's been a good season. We've been hit again with some injuries to key players at times. But we're stuck in there. Lads have shown a lot of guts when they've needed to. And overall, I'm quite pleased.
Obviously, my expectations, same as Mick's. Well, obviously promotion after last year, finishing 4th, up to 6 games to go last year. We were clear favourites, and then the last 6 games, absolutely. We were struggling, lads were playing 50%. We were dragging players in who were injured just to make us an 11 because injuries is hard. So I think minimum requirement this year was promotion, and we all said that, and we've actually gained it, which is great. Like Nick's just said there, we want 2nd place now, so lads can actually be rewarded for the hard work.
It's actually probably 2 years too late for me and Andy, because we expected it last year.
Yeah.
We had the squad, and again we got crucified by, and there were really serious injuries. There weren't niggles, there were serious injuries to 4 or 5 good players, and it ripped the heart out of the team. That's no disrespect to other players, because it put a lot more pressure on other players then, especially young lads who were having to come in and fill in for us when they weren't quite ready.
No pressure. I think when I first come as a player, the club's always been flirting with promotion, so as players we felt it, what the club wanted to do. As you can see, looking around, the club keeps growing on the outside, so it was important for us to do it on the pitch. I think that season, we might have been in top 4 in the semi-final, and I think COVID struck, so I think it cut our season short. I tried to have a look over there, but they've not got any.
We'd played 11 games that year and we were top at league,
Yeah.
and everybody else had played 12 or 13. I said that year, if that had carried on that year, we'd have gone through and won that year.
So we'll come back into it. We're in a good stead. Unfortunately, management left. New management came in. They also left. So we just needed a bit of stability. I offered to put my name forward till we got someone else in charge, but we just kept winning, didn't we, Mick?
Yeah.
Kept winning. No one expected it.
Yeah.
I think Noah even said himself, all he wants this season is just that bit of stability to look to next season. But we just kept winning. I think 23, 24 games unbeaten, semi-final Cup, and then unfortunately we got struck with a lot of injuries. Consistency wasn't there each week with players, so we were still highly disappointed with how the season ended. But there's targets what were set at the start of the season. With the changeover in management, losing 2 groups of management is never easy for players. New players coming, players leaving. We probably overachieved in the end. But again, disappointed, so we look to next season. We wanted to challenge for the title. Unfortunately, we've not got a title, but the promotion was minimum for this club, what it needs. Like I said, when I first come to this club, we were getting changed across the road, having to walk 3 miles just to get to the pitch. The clubhouse is here now, fantastic clubhouse. We started off with 1 stand, we've got 2, now we've got 3. The club just keeps growing and growing. So promotion was definitely minimum, and I'm excited to see where this club can continue to keep going.
And when you reflect on season, we dropped some silly points which could have done it for us. We lost goals in 96th and 97th minute, meaning we ended up in draws or a defeat. And they're the things what really hurt, because the players put the performance in, and it might have just been 1 second of not concentrating, a free header, and they scored a goal. To get a draw. They're the things what disappoint you, not that we haven't won it, although I'm disappointed we haven't won it. I think we were worthy title challengers, and today's opponents who've won the league, they highly respect us. I think they thought we were the only team to worry about in this division, and they've won it, and hopefully we're going to come second. So
same with me. Big respect to everybody at Southampton for me. I think they show the class on and off the field. We had a bit of an incident last year with him in the semi-final, and the respect and the class what they showed after it, for me, I hold them all in high regards. Dave Blake is an absolute class Guy, as a manager and as a person off the field. He speaks very highly of everybody at this club, which is good. So,
Deserve promotion, they
deserve champions. I said back in November, because I speak to one of their players regularly, and I says to him, I says, you always start off, last year you started off really even slower than what you have this year. This year you've only dropped a couple of games. I said, I only expected it. And they just kept on winning. They were relentless in them. They were just relentless.
It was a very good battle at the ground.
Come all the way, we get the result today, we get a result next week. I think we finished 2-3 points behind them.
Possibly, yes.
So,
yeah.
it just shows
With
how far we pushed them.
With 10 points behind them, if you look, the 6 points we dropped, obviously their keepers of the world, we could have still been playing that day and we'd have never scored.
That would have drawn.
Sheffield City, 3 minutes extra added on. They scored in 96 minutes.
That was 2 points gone.
Silkstone, we just weren't good enough to break them down. Fair play to them. 11 men behind the ball, we couldn't break them down. So
that was another 2 points gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're the points what puts you in. But listen, respect to them all. They've all come here. They gave us respect by setting up how they set up. So
it's one of them places. One of them places where teams are really up for it when they come to Danny.
Yeah.
They really want to get a good goal, get men built behind ball and make it hard for us every game.
I don't think there's any easy games now in County Senior League, especially in Premier and our division, Division 1. And it was, this division we were in, there were 7 or 8 teams in contention up until about 6 games ago, and then there were a breakaway 4 of Southend, Saltbus, Jubilee and Dromfield just dropped away, so it left just those the 3 what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Stabilise first year. Yeah. First year is to stabilise. That's the same. Stabilise first year, obviously. Stephen?
Yeah, so obviously it's my time to take a back seat now, become a fan again. My career outside of this is taking off now, 26, just about to get a professional licence in boxing, so it's my time to take a back seat and come and be a supporter. It's in fantastic hands. Rix is a great guy, great manager. Mick's going to stay here forever. Good guy, brilliant guy. The things what they're planning on doing and the things what Manny yourself as well coming on board, it's fantastic. This club is going places, and from a fan's point of view now, I don't see why this club can't go and play semi-professional football in 2 to 3 years time. Might be ambitious, but it can definitely do it. The ground's here, just needs to do it on the pitch now. The fans are coming, they turn out when things are going well, they turn out when things are bad, so it's just keep going now. Definitely 2-3 years time, there's no reason this club can't go and play semi-professional football.
I think from a player point of view, from a coach manager point of view, I think we're at a point now where we're letting our players know. When I say our players, I mean the club players. We're letting them know that they've got a chance. We've played 2 or 3 games over the last 10 days, and we've had 3 16-year-old lads playing, and they don't look out of place, to be honest with you. They don't look out of place, which means that we don't have to go hunting for players outside of our club. We can grow our own, and that's what we're doing. And there's a couple of other players in our under-18s and under-16s which could make the step up. I mean, next year Premier League is going to be a bit different, and it'll be good to see how they handle it.
But the 3 lads what's come in, Oliver, Luke and Danny, what I've seen of them, I don't think they look out of place.
Danny Carr in particular.
Obviously Luke did play Wednesday night, but Oliver, Danny Carr played against a team what's 3rd in Premiership.
Danny's finished as well.
They didn't look out of place, none of them. So if they can keep that performance levels up and understand it's going to be hard, some weeks are going to be in, some weeks are going to be out at the end of the year.
The big thing for us, I suppose, like for a lot of other teams, is you go into the summer and our players are going to be coming back. Will they get poached by other teams? You know, unfortunately, there's a lot of money flying around in the lower leagues. I was talking to the ex-chairman of the County Senior League yesterday, and we were both saying it's wrong, really. It distorts things because, you know, paying somebody in our division £100 a week, you know, where can youngsters come through? where can youngsters come through, you know.
But I think what we've touched on in regards to youngsters playing is just a testament to this club, the values what it put into the youth coaching. From the under sevens, I think every coach deserves a pat on the back because we've got the girls football going on, we've got the Sunday League football side from under sevens and they're coming up. So obviously the main aim I'd like to think for everyone is to get into this first team eventually and play for your local side, which is a testament to this club from the ground down to the ground up. The way that it's moving, I think everyone's going in the same direction now, which is healthy for the club as well.
What we've got to do is just, me and Andy have talked about this since day one when I came, and the idea is we're just the custodians for the club now. We had a platform what we started on, and I think we built it up and up and up and up, and that's what all we can do. And we just hope that, you know, when we're long gone, that people are still building the club up. And it's going to be difficult, you know, if we get into the Premiership. If we were fortunate enough to win it, we could apply to go into the North East counties, but we need floodlights, which we're hoping to have. But when you move up into the North East counties, you've got to have a budget. Now, we've got how we get that budget. That's going to be the hard thing, getting sponsorships in, because it's a lot more expensive to play in the North East counties. It will be next year in the Premiership, because we have to pay for 3 officials, not just one. So straight away, the club expenditure goes up.
So any sponsors, get to Dennebeck, come put some money into us.
So, like I said, that's probably how we're going, and like I said, that's his plans for club moving forward. Basically, we're looking at we want floodlights. That's what we want. We want to take this club.
We want to relight the square, because I remember this 30, 40, 50 years ago. That tells you how old I am. You know, when floodlight matches down here were brilliant, you know, great atmosphere.
Like I said, it might not be down for me and Mick to take them to that next step, but we want to take them to the next best level we can. It might mean that somebody else has to come in who can take them to the next level. But at the moment, like Mick said, we're the custodians of the club, and we have to do the best for this club, which I think we have done. After, I'd say,
there's
40, 50 games on this pitch this year, maybe.
There's only other people can judge what we've done, and either say you've done great or you've not done great, you know. So it's for other people to say that. I'd like to think we've brought the club up. We've certainly got a profile. The Mexborough League, Sunday League have asked us to semi-finals and finals. We're getting a lot of praise. We get ground hoppers coming from all over the country. We've had them from Manchester, Liverpool, Luton, all over, and they're mega impressed with the club. In particular, the staff, how we talk to people, you know. So we've raised the profile. That's all we can do.
I think all the coaches need to speak to the first team manager, and we need to set a way of playing as a club. What can roll from 6 straight through, so when they come into the first team, they know how the first team's going to play, or the system they're going to play at least. Not, I don't want them to play 3-4-3, whatever, but they're going to know the system's what we've got, so they can be coming. And as soon as you put them on, you know the job. You don't have to explain it, and that'd be great for every coach, even for coaches to mix and go and coach another side and stuff in the groups. So every kid gets a bit of different interaction from the coach. So every coach should be known to every kid in this club for me. That's where because at the moment, you go to any team and there's only certain coaches what they'll know, and there's certain people they'll know. And that's, for me, that's wrong. As a club, everybody should really know every person. We took over 2 years ago, and I think that we've gone from strength to strength in 2 years, and we're getting better and better. This morning, the Mini Mainers, the Wildcats, absolutely brilliant turnouts. It's great. 3 coaches down there helping. We need to get more coaches involved, and that's it, and more volunteers. But that's the question: is getting more volunteers, getting involved. We need a club ethos, and we need to stick together, and they need to buy into what we're doing as a club. And if people don't want to buy into what we're doing as a club, then they're maybe not part of this club. That's for me. We need to be together, and we all need to pull in the same direction for me as a club, and we can go as far as we want, because we've got everything we possibly need as a club here. we've got the facilities, and they're only getting better and better each year, and they will carry on getting better and better. Well, we've got hard-working people like we have behind the scenes.
I've known Andy for 2 or 3 years now, and it's been a little bit different. I went a different route, and then we spoke mid-season, and I think ambition for the last 2 or 3 years has been promotion, and club's been knocking on the door. There's no denying it. We missed out by odd point here and there. I think COVID probably hampered one season. So I think first goal was to get them up to that step 7 level, really. And they've got, well, they had the team to do it, they just probably didn't have that push to get them on that line, maybe. So I've probably come in with a bit of a fresh face and a different approach to how they've been managed in the past. And me and Stephen have worked well together in the sense that it's a good cop, bad cop scenario. He'll put an arm around somebody and I'll stick a rocket up them if they need it. So yeah, I think everyone's, at any club, especially at this level, if you're not ambitious to get promoted, then you probably shouldn't be playing at county level. You should be back down at your local level. But it were, I think Andy said to me straight away, we need to get out of this league. Obviously we've achieved that with 2 games to spare, really. I think from my point of view, and lads know my point of view, Andy and Mick both been great and supported any idea I've sort of brought in. We've got to look at progression again next year. Tough division, but we know that we're probably one on the grounds that is suitable and capable of matching ground grading to get promoted. So we've got to aim, one, for stability in that league, and see where it takes us. But a top 4 finish in that league can get you promoted as long as your ground's correct. So we've got to aim and strive and being amongst those front runners from off. I think we've seen it in games when we've played sides from Premier Cup competitions and friendlies and stuff. We're more than capable of mixing it with them. And maybe with 1 or 2 additions, especially young lads that have come in and really took off, I think we'll be a very, very difficult side to beat next year as well. And ultimately, we want to be pushing towards North East Counties football and FA Cup and FA Vars by end of next season, really. So yeah, the aim is to push on again and secure another promotion for the side and club. We've got the safe facilities to do so. We've probably got the team and squad to do so. And if we keep them all together, 1 or 2 changes here and there maybe, and we will be in the mix hopefully. Yeah, so for me, obviously, we've started to document it. We're obviously chasing that floodlight, and I'm not going to call it a dream, but it's the ambition at the club to get floodlights back here. We've started adding other stands to facilities. The next phase for me, and I think Andy touched on it in the group interview, that progressively as a club, collectively, we need to progress the junior section, give them not the support, but give them something to look at and think, wow, this is great, I want to be involved in this club. And we'll see them players then progress right through. We've seen it with 2 under-18s, Luke Winder and Ollie Davis, who have come in recent weeks, and to be fair, both been patient but have made a good impact, and that's because they've been at club for a long time. So development wise with ground, I think we're there or thereabouts with ground grading anyway to get us to that next step. Ultimately, we probably want to be looking and aiming, and as I said before, I'm ambitious, but if we prepare the club to be 2 or 3 steps above where we're going to, we're always going to be in front, and I think that's where we're at. Floodlights put us already in front. So once they're installed, we're already in front. We've got ample seating for capacity. We've got hard standing all the way around ground. As a club, collectively, I I know Andy spoke about it, about having an ethos from the first team manager. I probably don't agree with it from under 6, under 7, under 8, but once lads start playing 9 and 11-a-side football, we want lads to try and mould into that role, how we want players to play. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same formation, but the style of play that I play, which is very high pressing, in your face, quick turnover of possession. If you win ball, it goes boom, 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 boom. You tend to find junior football, they like to play it back a bit, or you get the odd player who will take the ball and he runs and he doesn't know how to pass, or doesn't want to pass. But we've got to instill that. And if that means over at summer that I get involved and coach on a junior side, so even their coaches come and watch one of our sessions. I think as a group of coaches, from top to bottom, obviously, the club's success falls on my head from a senior point of view, but ultimately I want to be passing that success down to the junior section as well. And I'm more than happy to share my thoughts, beliefs and wisdoms on that, and if that means that we have to get together once a month and have a bit of a mentor session, discuss what other people are struggling with, and we do that collectively as a group of managers, group of coaches, to help the club continue its progression. So on the field, it's going to be about togetherness, and off of the field, we still need that togetherness, but we need everyone pulling together for the right reasons. We don't want people thinking we're begging them to come and help us do something when ultimately we're actually we're helping everybody by having the facilities we've got. So from my point of view, obviously I came in mid-season. Stephen's been here, I think this is his 3rd season. We've had us running battles on touchline again, one another. And coming in and working with Stephen, he's a young lad, I mean, he's 25, 26. And to do it week in, week out for 3 years, and be there or thereabouts, he's done a cracking job. So I said to Stephen privately, the club probably is where it is as a first team because of him over the last 2 or 3 years. Great to finish with, obviously, his ultimate target 3 years ago, promotion. So great for him to finish on that. But he's leaving club with his head held high, in my opinion. And he's probably made it much easier for me to come in. Because lads have stayed together. It's not like we've changed manager. Me and Stephen have come in as joint managers initially. But he's going on and he's not staying in sport. He's not moving on and going to another club, to a rival or anything like that. He's got a professional career in boxing world, so he's chasing his dream. And at 26, if you can do that and still have the successes he already has done, then it's great. And I think for me, as a club, collectively, group of players, committee, supporters, me as another manager, coach, we need to appreciate and respect what Stephen's actually done for the last 2.5, 3 years with the club to help develop it and push it forward. So on my final note is a big thank you to Stephen, really, as a thank you to everybody for getting behind him, but also for welcoming me into the fold. It's probably difficult midway through a season when you're already doing so well to have somebody come in and say, well, I'm going to join in and help you, because it's been his baby for 2.5 years. But collectively we've got there, we've got ourselves on the line now, which is big thing, main thing. So yeah, thank you to everybody.
I remember when we were staring at a photo. Don't forget the way you look me in the eyes. And I keep you in my heart. In my heart is where you are. I still think of you, I want you coming back. I remember when we were staring at a photo. Don't forget the way you look me in the eyes. And I keep you in my heart. In my heart is where you are. I still think of you, I want you coming back. Call me when you want, baby, I can't take it on my heart. Yeah, yeah, give me your love, yeah, yeah. Call me when you want, and I keep you in my heart. In my heart is where you are. I still think of you, I want you coming back. I remember when we were staring at a photo.